Okay, I really hope this works. This is the third time that I've attempted to do this. So, let's try something here. I'm going to pull some drawings out of my little digital sketchbook to give you more of an understanding of what's going on, hopefully. Okay, blah, blah, blah. They have been merged. Okay, so I'm just going to draw over this with a blue line. So as you can see, I was trying to work out some things, and this is a little bit older, so this is when I first started getting back into it. But as you can see, I have the same concepts. So this is a circle right here. Okay? This is my other circle. As you can see, the belly button is almost in the middle. Not quite. I should probably move it up a little bit. And I'm drawing these two lines together. This is a concept of what I was talking about. Let's do this over here. This is an oval. Even though I have this, because I was practicing out of someone's anatomy book. I forgot which anatomy book it was. But as you can see, I'm still making these lines right here. And down here, I got this, and this also is a circle. Even though this, and I don't know what the hell this is right here. I really don't. Um, even though you see a box shape right here, it's still a circle. I mean, we can make it into more of a 3D sided object to give it some volume to it. But that's the concept that I wanted to letting you look at my sloppy artwork because I was working out things here. And so, like I said, from the back, you can see this character right here. So, um, let's get rid of this. And no. And hold on one second. Now, I showed you the two. I showed you the concepts for this. So let's look at a little bit more of a detailed. So this is a little bit more detailed. And this is me just kind of working out some muscles. But as you can see here, even from the side here, this area, let's bring this down a little bit. Let's lighten it up. I'm going to go over here. As you can see, this area right here, let's change this to black. When you're dealing with the torso, this is still a circle. This is still the belly button. And down here in this area is another circle. And as you can see, right here is where the I guess the underwear, the briefs, as I was saying, and right about half of here is the chest. And right about here is still the collarbone. The neck is up here. Okay. And so this is still going to be the chest. It's still the belly button. We can still do this. And we would be on our way. On the side over here, you can also see that this is also an oval. Bring this line down here. Here's the belly button. It's almost in the middle of here. As I said, this kind of goes to the back. So you're essentially looking at this 90 degree, not 90-degree angle, but I guess more of a 45-degree angle maybe. And this negative space right here is important. This negative space right up in here. Now it's not normally this much in the back, but there is a bit of a space right here because that's going to be a muscle that we'll get into later on. And if you look at over here, this is still a circle. Still a circle. Instead, I got it turned 3/4 of the way. And so with keeping that in mind, I'm drawing it back. Okay? Bringing this down here. Here's the belly button. Right about here. So I need to draw another circle. And right here is going to be where the legs are going to start. And for the shoulders, for right now, we'll just draw that. Let me get this out of the way to kind of show you guys what's going on here. So that is the concept of this. Oh, by the way, if you notice there's a space in between here, just think of this as a little necktie. Because what happens if I bring this drawing back up, you can see that the chest is not, they're not touching each other. Your chest is not touch. It's not a straight across line. You can draw it with that in the initial stages, but understand that your chest does not touch. Even on a bodybuilder, it starts to touch. And if you're drawing something from the side, you'll see it overlap, like right over here. But that's because it's a 3D shape. It's essentially doing that. So it does not, in fact, touch each other. And just like your elbow, or not your elbow, I'm sorry, your shoulder is going to start right here. Let me bring this down a little bit to explain this a lot better. All right. Your shoulder is going to be attached. Whoops. Your shoulder is going to be attached right here. And I should have drawn that shoulder a little bit better. But your shoulder is right here. It's in the middle of your collarbone. That's where the shoulder is attached. Especially when you're a younger artist or a newer artist, you tend to want to put the chest right up against another chest, and maybe you make it circle, or maybe you don't know quite the shape of the chest. Everybody's chest is shaped a little bit differently. And then you draw this, and then you try and put the shoulders on the side. And you're kind of trying to figure out, like, why isn't your shoulders look correct? It's because your shoulders don't hang off on the side like an action figure. They have to do that with action figures because they can't attach it to where it properly goes and then get the correct range of motion. And so if you notice already, this area right here is already starting to look more like a chest. So hopefully that makes some sense to you. And so but everything that I'm showing you right now comes down to, these are your thumbnails is what I'm teaching you how to do. I'm teaching you how to do thumbnails. And so I want to get up into the gesture a little bit. So let's do this. Let me see if I can. No, I do not want to change the savings to my document. What I want to do is show you how to. We're going to make our very first little stick figure here. So I already got some little stick figures set up here, but I'm going to make it a little bit more towards what I was teaching you. So we got this character right here. So check this out. Let's go ahead and let me go back to my blue so you can see it a little bit better. No, actually, I'm not going to take that down. So here we go. We got a circle right here. And then I got another circle right here. I got my belly button right there. This is the way that we're going to make, obviously I'm putting in the head. This is the way that we're going to make our stick figure. Right here where you see the collarbone, you are going to make, let's put it underneath. I'm sorry, make sure that we put it underneath the line. And I said down here are the trunks or the briefs. And right on the side over here, I want you to put 2 circles. Okay? And from there, I want you to make a curved line. This is seems like a little bit more feminine of a figure, which is fine. So, and you want to put the circle right here. Now, how far down should this go? Well, if I was showing you 4 heads high, then this should be another 4 heads. This area right here should be equal to this right here. And the arms, let's draw a concept for the hands. This is what I'm darkening in right here is the hands. And so your hand is going to hit right below. Your wrist is going to hit, let me see, the ending of your wrist, the beginning of your hands should be right below the crotch area. You could even put this down a little bit more with the fingers. And all you're going to do right now, all I want you to do is just draw a line straight up. That's all I want you to do. Now, how does this translate into if you're drawing the hand bent over here? Where do you put the line at? Well, you see right here where we have the belly button. A belly button is a very important landmark because it creates a system of checks and balances. If you are, if you make like a little pendulum line, just right above that line, it's going to be where your elbow is going to be. And your upper arm should be about equal to your lower arm. So I'm going to stop right there. And then I'm going to keep going. I just want to make sure that this line is equal to this line right here. And we could put some hands right here. If I want to draw it, if I want to bend the line, I just want to make sure that it's up. Maybe this character is angry now. He's saying something about, you know, who stole my damn potato chips or what. I don't know what he's saying. But you get the drift right here. And the reason why I want you to, oh, by the way, let's go back in. We got the belly button right here, right in midway. That's the chest. Always remember that. This character is facing this way. And I already put the trunks in. And so, let me see. So that's going to be our stick figure. So let's clean this person up over here. We have a circle. I got another circle. I got my lines right here. Or I'm sorry, I got my my spheres right here. This person is kind of in a little gesture pose. So we want a little bit of a sweeping action like this. I like to have lines that sweep. Again, we're putting in the chest. Belly button is right in the middle. I like to have a little bit of a motion to it. I attempted to put the hands on the hips. So let's do that. Let's work backwards. I found a lot of times that it's a lot easier to work backwards. And maybe the other hand is right here as I have it in the illustration. And all I got to do is go down. Now we're gonna bend this, right? So that's all we're gonna do. It doesn't have to be a huge bend, and we know that if you're doing right here, then here comes this. And we're guessing right now. I'm guessing that this is going to be how tall this character is. So I'm drawing this line right here, and then I'm doing this. So that's the knee. It's gonna curve, not that much, but it is gonna have a slight curve to it. Because when you're drawing your character from the side, when you're drawing this character from the side here, let me go up another level here. When I'm drawing a character from the side, here's the chest. And let me show you how to translate this to the side here. So we still want to draw our two ovals. This is going to be your abs. So this isn't, this little space right here, this little negative space is very important. It's going to help you make your figures look correct. So I'm drawing this figure right here. If they're just standing there, then I want this line right here. It shouldn't be going past this line. And let's do this. Okay. So you remember when on in the front view, remember in the front view, these are our briefs right here. And then we're putting the little pins where the legs are going to go. You notice they don't go too far past the crotch area, so we want to keep them here. And here's a line right here to let you know where everything is placed. We want to balance everything, right? So on the side, it's going to be behind the line for the arms and in front of the line for the legs. And in the front, we're going to draw this line and it's going to bend. We're going to draw the legs and then it's going to bend back this way. And then let's draw the most realistic foot ever. And so we also know from the side that this right here is going to be the hand, and all I want you to do right now is just bring it back up to the shoulder. And so from this side, it's going to come down here. I'm just trying to darken this in because I don't know how dark this comes out on screen. Got the elbow. Now, as I said before, this is going to equal to this, and so will the leg. It should be about equal. It's not precisely equal, but we're not going to be worried about being precise right this second. And so if I'm eyeballing it, I want this curve in here too. And then we're going to draw more. I think these are the new Jordans right here. That's what they prototype for them. Anyway, okay, so this is what we got right here. And so now we have our handy dandy little figure that we can now pose. And here's something else that I want to show you. I got this figure right here. Okay. And then I have this. So actually the line of action is kind of right here. I'll get into line of action on the next one. So we already know, I don't even have to really put the belly button in at this point, because I know that just half of this little symbol right here, half of this is going to be where the chest is. I know that here is going to be kind of where the collarbone is going to sit. And right now I'm just drawing it down. I don't really care where it ends. And so right now we have this, because it's a 3D figure. I'm going to draw the pins or the balls right here. And so here's this leg. If you notice, I'm putting this leg at a curve. Now, when I'm drawing this leg bent, look up top here. When I'm drawing the leg that's bent, I want to draw this as a straight line to represent the knee. I don't really want to draw this as a circle, because I think drawing it this way is going to help you understand a little bit more. Because again, we're going to show that bend in the leg. And then we're going to put the new Jordans on them again. And so the other leg should actually be right here. So I'm kind of correcting my own sketchbook at this point. And we're going to also, remember, it's going to be at an arc. We're going to draw a straight line, and then we're going to come back down like this again. And I am keeping this kind of sketchy. So yeah, so that is how we're going to draw our stick figure. So we'll be able to, I'm going to get way more into gesture on the next lessons, and I'm going to really get into lines of action and gesture. And let me just say a quick thing before. Thank you for everybody that's been looking at my videos. And if you can, please like the video. And if you can subscribe, that'd be really cool to get a subscriber or two. I'm not going to stop doing the videos, so it's not something to where I'm getting frustrated because not enough people are watching or whatever. None of that nonsense. I'm doing this to help people out. So that's my, because like I said, I write. So I draw to help myself figure out my own characters, and I will be getting into how I design characters, and hopefully it'll help you out. I'm just doing this to help people out, and maybe get a few fans for when I release my book. So that's my own selfish little reason, but none of this stuff none of these videos are ever going to be for sale. So don't think that. I'm going to go and teach you as much as I can about anatomy. But let me just touch on this really quick before we go. I see a lot of this when I look at people's art. I see this. When you're looking and you're copying somebody else's work, that's fine. I want you to copy other people's work, but I want you to have an understanding when you're copying it. But I see a lot of artists do this. I see these sketchy lines, and then they'll put some wild and crazy manga hair on them. That's because you're not setting up construction lines. So if I'm going to draw a face, I want to set up a construction line. I'm dividing it in half. Then I'm going to divide it in half again. This is where my eyes are going to be. And you know how they say 5 eyes across, right? That should be an eye length across, which it isn't quite that. I'm going to draw the nose right here, and I'm drawing a mouth. Oh, look, the chin is way too small. So guess what? I'm going to fix it right now. That's why you put in construction lines. So if I'm drawing a character, see, I was able to fix that right away. And now I'm just putting in, and by the way, this isn't even done. This is not polished. This is called a rough. This is the second stage of a thumbnail. And so, I don't know. Let's give him some kind of hairstyle here. So that's this character right here. And so as you can see very quickly, once you put the construction lines in, then everything else will be able to, this is what you want to do right here, is to be able to put those construction lines in. Construction lines are very important. If I'm drawing this, and I'm going to show you guys how to do all this stuff up in the upcoming videos. Because once you put in your construction lines, if you make a mistake on your construction line, you can always repair it. You can always go back and clean it up, because that's what your construction line is for. It's to make sure that now there are people that don't use a lot of construction lines because they've been drawn forever. Then there are people that use construction lines because they draw the same poses over and over again, just in different angles. It's another dirty little artist secret that nobody really wants to tell you. So all right. And yeah, let's so when you're drawing something, let me show you something that's a little bit more completed of mine, because I've just been showing you ovals and circles and all this other stuff. And this is just stuff that's in my sketchbook. So I really wanted to get into drawing monsters, so I just looked at a bunch of Halloween masks and I drew that. But I didn't draw this. This started out, this bat figure over here started out like this. I literally started this drawing out like this. I just drew a construction line. And keep in mind, I was looking at a Halloween mask because I wanted to get an understanding of monsters. And you could see right here, I'm laying this in. I had to refine this. I had to bring the jaw down a little bit more. But it started out as this construction line, and that's how I draw. So even some of the most elaborate drawings, I guess. And let me see how this turns out. And so this is a little bit better concept of the mannequin that I'll be teaching you guys how to draw with. I was playing around with looking at some other artists and then doing a little bit of my own poses. And so this is what's coming up for you guys. And I really do hope that you stick around, because we will be getting to this. I really want to get you at the level where you are actually, where I'm actually showing you some character design. Like the other day, I was sketching around with this because I was going to do this redesign of Naruto. And as you can see, I just drew a bunch of different things around here. I gathered some reference. I was looking at something, and so I was able to, kind of I don't know, just having some fun with just a nice redesign of a character for no reason, just to kind of sharpen my skills up. And so that's what this is. I'll also let you get into characters. And by the way, this is very rough because it's supposed to be. I was never going to show anybody this. This right here is me thinking. So I'm thinking about the vest. And I'm just putting down concepts. I knew right here I wanted some kind of wristbands, and so I got some pictures of wristbands, and I threw like I know that I want the symbol there. I know that maybe I want some leg bracers, maybe some knee pads. That's his side, whatever that little holster is that he has. I changed up the hair a little bit. But yeah, I can show you how to get into stuff like that. This isn't anywhere near finished, but this is the kind of stuff that you have to. I got to put in a little bit more work than this, or should I say, a lot more work. But that'll be coming up. So I hope that you guys stick around. And that's that.